Hey everybody, this is your H-Town Rundown Houston Rockets basketball podcast here. This is Preston. Thank you for joining us on another lovely episode. Today, this episode is sponsored by BetUS, where the game begins. Be sure to go ahead and sign up where you can get up to 125% bonus on your first 3 deposits using our promo code JOIN125. We want to again thank you, BetUS, for sponsoring this episode. Remember, BetUS is where the game begins. Now, let's cue that intro.
Yeah. Bang! Yeah, 713, don't step in this league, throwing rocks at the backboard. Living our dream, better dribble to the 3, take the shot, here a cash short. And we don't even care what you say, we ain't scared of the hate, get a win in this last board. Stand in the paint, better clear out the way, hit the court with the black force energy. Every single week on a killing spree, you kidding me? You talk about winning with the epitome, you better be talking with peace and we locking the key on them. Know that it's rocking with Ryan and Donte, the drip guy, we beyond the gossip, the topics we talk on a pop and we conquering the obstacles that we cross as a team. Shot from the seats, we the Rockets like Elon. It's the H-Town Rundown. Let's get started right now.
Hey guys, thank you for joining us again on another lovely episode. To start off, man, I got my boy Ryan joining us once again on the H-Town Rundown. What's good, Ryan? How are you, brother?
I'm good, man. How are you?
Good, man. I'm doing good, man. It's good to see you. Plug yourself in, bro.
You already know where to find me. Ryan Diamond 15 on Instagram, Ryan Diamond 15 on Twitter, and Rockets on Sports Illustrated as well, right here on the H-Town Rundown podcast and the Rockets Round Robin podcast, and soon to be the Off Topic podcast as well. Stay tuned for that.
We got another little thing jumping up, man. But yeah, it's good to have you on, Ryan. And of course, Coach D, bro. What's good, Donte? How you been, bro?
I've been doing good, man. Y'all can find me at Coach Donte 31 on Edge. Y'all can find me at Coach Donte 5 on Instagram, where I promote young high school athletes as well down here in Houston. So y'all can find me at the H-Town right here, H-Town Rundown and the Round Robin as well, talking about the Houston Rockets and pregame show. And that's where y'all can find me at.
Absolutely, man. And finally, guess what? Yes, sir. PG, man. We got Pastor George back in the building.
I like that song a lot, actually. What's going on, brother? No, man, y'all know where to find me at on Twitter. Only look for me on Twitter. Don't look for me elsewhere, even though I am elsewhere. But on Twitter at Earl of God, talking everything and all things sports and everything else. So, yeah, man, you know where to find me. Let's get started.
Yeah, let's get started, man. First off, again, Pastor, we appreciate you jumping on again and talking more Rockets ball today. And it's been a while. This, for those of you who have been with us the entire time since we had 78 followers, this is the original crew right here. The three of us, PG, Donte, and I, man. And now we've got Ryan kind of taking PG's place here. It's been an interesting dynamic for sure. And I'm very interested to see how this is going to play out today.
I've been on with Ryan before, though.
Yeah, we've been on before.
Yeah, it's been fun. The 4 of us together, it's going to be a great energy.
Yeah.
It's going to be great. So let's talk about actually, before we do that, be sure to follow at the H-Town Rundown on X as well as YouTube and Instagram. And follow me, Drip2Ps_GWD on X as well as Instagram and YouTube. Check it all out, man. We everywhere. We got a lot of things going on now. And like you see, we got a promo now finally. We sponsored, baby. So check it out. Check it out. Let's talk about the NBA Cup, right? There's a good game that was kind of mid, but we ended up winning finally. And there's a game we lost. So let's talk about the good first. I kind of like my dessert. Pastor, you want to start us off, man? Talk about that Golden State game. Just kind of give an overview of it, and then some things you liked and disliked.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people were saying that too, though, like that it was a boring game nonetheless. But I like defense, and I like slow-paced games. It reminds me of good basketball. So to see how we went out there and competed, played them. I mean, we kind of had them off their rockers pretty much the whole game defensively, right? I think we had like a total of 8 shot clock violations, right, bro? Like that type of behavior is like insane coming from our particular defense. So that like excites me about our team, no matter what happened with the end of the cup, right? But nice. Man, it was great. It was great in my opinion. I know it was low scoring. People want to see a lot of offense nowadays, but bro, let them boys ball, man. I like it though. It was good with me.
Defensively, that was probably one of our best defensive games ever, especially being against a team in a playoff-like atmosphere that we hadn't beaten for 5 years. Like that was huge. That was huge. And seeing the young guys really kind of take over. Like, yeah, Fred did this, Dylan did that, but like it was really on the backs of Şengün, Jalen hitting clutch shots down the stretch there. Jabari especially, and then up to a lesser extent, Tari Eason, as well as Amen Thompson, who was great off the bench yet again. It was good. This is kind of the culmination of everything coming together. Now, it was unfortunate we didn't get to see any Reed ball. Those minutes were taken by Holiday, and we didn't get to see any Cam Whitmore ball, even though I believe he was called up for that game. He sat on the bench, correct me if I'm wrong. But just something to, we'll touch up on a little bit more. But go ahead, Ryan. Give me your thoughts on this Golden State game. Was there anything that stuck out to you specifically?
We won.
Yeah, we won. Yeah, we won, bro. We won.
I think it was 6 shot clock violation. Was it 6 or 8?
8. It was 8.
Oh, I thought it was 6. Okay, so 8 shot clock violations against a fantastic offense. We were able to stop Buddy Hield once he got hot, which I thought was fantastic for us in the fourth quarter, because if we hadn't been able to stop him, we would have lost that game. Podge, amazing block from Bari. I mean, Jalen Green, even though he didn't perform awesome in the second half on offense and in the first quarter as well, he put on a very good show for national television defensively.
Yeah.
And although for us Rockets watchers who really see Şengün and how that was not a great game for him, the media took that as a great game for Şengün, which was perfect for us.
If anything, that's kind of what we want is to kind of show up our guys, especially again, this is the first time we've had like a real playoff like game, and it be not just our young guys, but against an old rival, this was kind of like what AK said here. I'm kind of saying this thing, like, it was like puberty, man. They kind of growing up a little bit, they took over the reins, they helped win the game. And everyone contributed in one way or another in this game. This was really an Ime-led communist offensive team, and we won the game because of it. It was insane.
It really made me not be able to care any less about losing to the Thunder just because we beat the Warriors in a playoff like game.
I want to touch up on that here in a second, but before we continue going forward, Donte, give us your thoughts on the Golden State game, man. What were some things you took away from it?
Well, like I said, I would say it was a very good game from Alp. I mean, the only thing was bad was the turnovers, but who didn't turn the ball over in this game? He had 4 turnovers, but Alp just, 10 for 18, and he made his free throws. He only missed 1 free throw. So other than that, it was good when we had 32 seconds on the clock. I like the way that Alp really got the ball, and he just made up his mind and just took it to the rim and made a layup. But what stuck out to me was the defense, the last 3 possessions that the Golden State Warriors had. When they had an opportunity to put us away, 2 shot clock violation, 8-second violation that we forced, and a turnover by Draymond Green, which was thrown away by Draymond Green. And Stephen Curry kind of helped us out too, because he did shoot a bad shot the ball pretty early. He helped us out up on that. But those possessions, I liked those possessions. And we expected, like Pal says, see this high scoring game and stuff like this. You don't see many games won like this, 91-90. You don't see many games won like that. But that just gave you a testament how good our defense actually is, pretty much. And defense was good all night. Jabari Smith with a big block. But other than that, man, this it also shows that we can win tough games. We can win grinded out games as well. So, like I say again, we finally got that monkey off our back. We finally beat the Warriors. We finally beat them, and it felt good. Even though which is the game we gonna talk about soon. But like I say, it just felt good for us, at least playing for something, at least going out there competing and playing for something. I feel good about where we're at.
Absolutely. I've got a thing here this is from the Houston Rockets channel here on Twitter. This is just some of the highlights that they posted. Let's take a quick look at this. These beautiful plays.
Now from 3 tonight, Grant. 1 of 11. They get it. Şengün dropping a dime to Eason.
I just want you to look at this. How was he hitting this pass?
He hasn't made many of those plays this year. As far as his first and second year in the league, third year too. Have y'all ever used to always make those plays, but he's not doing it a lot this year.
I haven't seen Jalen Green ever do something like that in my life. Rip the ball out of somebody's hands like that.
Yeah, he big boy. I don't even know who that was.
That steal really went under the radar, because the only other player I've seen do that recently was Zion Williamson in summer league against Kevin Knox.
He did kind of bully him, and then Şengün makes that beautiful pass right there. Got Draymond all the way up, and then because it's Draymond Green, Tariq makes sure to look back on him.
Şengün dropping it
out the way, Drake.
To Eason. He's gonna sit back in the paint.
Took it away. Can he save it? He did.
NBA Cup game.
Reed Shepard. The
Beautiful.
Eason ends up slamming it down.
Oh, Jabari.
Get out of here. What a block by Jabari Smith Jr.
Through these couple seconds, these 30 seconds here in the NBA Cup game, some of these games that we're watching here in these highlights, what just stuck out to you right there?
Defense.
Champions. Ain't that crazy, guys, that Houston Rockets 7 years ago, we were the highest octane offense in the entire NBA, like in history at times. Now we're up there in defense. Interesting how times change. And
James Harden's gone.
Harden is gone, obviously, but it's interesting the mentality changes on the team, right? The way that things want to change up, and how we ended up winning these games, right? Through the defense, and with that, to a lesser extent,
I mean, to the take on defense, though, I will add, like, I don't want it to go, I guess, let me say, I would be remiss if we don't talk about the defense that we had during those James Harden eras. Like, those defenses with Chris Paul on, with Luka Baumute, PJ Tucker, like, those really good defenses. Something that came up in conversations I was having on Playback with Clutch fans and such like that was that, like, I think that Amin Thompson and Tari Eason are high-level defenders, which you see how they play well. We can get in the lineups later, how they play well with particular lineups. But, like, that defense that year, like, was the number one defense or number two defense against like the best offense of all time. And something to keep in mind, like we should rave about these defenders and how well we play defense and the fact that it is our identity now. But like that defense in comparison, like was stopping Golden State. And this defense today, I don't think could stop the Kevin Durant led Golden State Warriors, to be real with you. But I think that's really the main change though, is that we are a defensive first team. And people need to like open their eyes and accept that for right now is that there isn't really much that we're doing offensively to complement that. But go ahead.
Facts. I agree.
I was going to say we're not doing anything offensively. We're second to last in the league for shooting percentage from the field and third to last in the league for 3-point. I mean, we have no offense. So
yeah, it's crazy to say that because we're second seed in the West.
And we're also 15th in assists. Fred is averaging 6 a game. Şengün's averaging 5. And then there's nobody averaging more than 3.
Interesting here. Now, before we continue on, this was the end of the game here. Again, Jabari Smith Jr. with a clutch block. Just take a look at his presence here.
They got a piece,
and I mean, he really just – now, let me correct myself here. He really just gets in there. Look at this. If it wants to reload, please.
A piece, and it is back to Podziemski. They got a piece.
I love how the Warriors so sad, man. Like the Warriors sad makes me happy.
Yeah, you know, and that to that point though, Ryan, too, like, they were sad, and I heard a lot of people talking about how much this game did not matter to people. And I will say that, like, Draymond
said something.
Sad. He was specifically sad. If you go watch his interview and you see how choked up he got during his interview, and what he said, the comments mattered too. Don't get me wrong, I agree with you, Ryan, but I'm saying that like he was distraught about that loss. I'm pretty sure he was celebrating our loss the following game because he felt the type of way about it. But yes, seeing the Warriors sad does matter to us, but it mattered to them too. So it's not no like light game at all. This meant something.
No, game is game with them. It'll forever be game with them. Until Steph Curry and Draymond Green retire, it will always be a back and forth thing with them.
Bro, I don't know. They got a lot of things to figure out, especially with the trade.
Yeah, and now they got Schroeder, so we're cooked. So we're never beating them again.
I just want to talk about that. Let's touch up on that. PG, man, what are your thoughts on Golden State getting Schroeder, who's having a career year?
I mean, it's not nothing that I'm kind of like, I think Ryan's being sarcastic, so I'm kind of with him on it. It's like, it's not something that I really like. I care about. Like, I think they're still the Warriors. I think you still have to compete regardless. I think it's a great pickup for them. I think the comment that came up to me when I was talking with someone else about it, or like it came across our conversation was, do you feel like we should have picked up Schroeder? And I was just like, I never thought to pick him up, but if we did, I wouldn't have been mad. You know what I mean? I would have been like, I would have felt like his position is redundant with Aaron Holiday. So he is a better Aaron Holiday in a way. So like that's a good pickup, if you know what I'm saying. Like, but I don't think that it's something that like is gonna win them a championship. But they'll win games with Schroeder, and it'll be quality minutes because he is that guy. And to keep in mind, the reason why I brought up that Rockets comparison is because it actually does made more sense for us to go pick up Schroeder because of his history playing next to Jalen Green. That actually made way more sense. But hell, it is what it is.
It is what it is. Good breakdown. Good breakdown. Anybody else have any thoughts on Golden State getting Schroeder? Yep. Okay.
So I think Golden State getting Schroeder is actually going to end up really well for them. I'm pretty sure he's averaging about 20 on the Nets. I know it's the Nets, but he's still having a career year. He played really well in the the Olympics as well. I mean, I think it's a phenomenal pickup for Golden State, especially to start and then have Buddy Hield off the bench. I mean, I think it's a phenomenal pickup for Golden State. And I think it will be tougher for us to beat them because now they have not just 2 or 3 shooters, 4 shooters. They have 4 shooters in their starting lineup.
Yeah,
so,
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah. And
is he in the starting lineup already?
Yeah, no, he's going to start, I'm sure.
I mean, you want Buddy going to the bench for
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you have Buddy Hield at the shooting guard. So
didn't Buddy start on the bench?
He started on the bench, but he moved to the starting lineup, and he's definitely better.
I think he's going to go back to the bench now that they have Schroeder.
Schroeder makes sense coming off the bench for like a month. To me, he comes off better.
I agree with you, but I think that Buddy has a bigger presence off the bench. It's like Tari Eason and Amen Thompson for us.
An interesting comparison. I see it. I see what you're saying. Donte, what are your thoughts on Schroeder going to Golden State? Anything at all?
Nah, I mean Schroeder is a solid player, man. Very good player. One thing about his game, he has improved his 3-point jump shooting. He can always make, but he wasn't never a consistent good 3-point shooter. But he's worked on that jump shot, and that will make him more tough for the guard because he can also go to the rim and finish at the rim. And he's a good veteran point guard to have. So I wouldn't mind having Schroeder back on this team. But I will say, I would like to see, since we're not already playing Reed too much and we're focused on winning games, it seems like I would like to give Aaron Holiday some more time. More time. I would like to give him some time at the backup point guard.
He's also our best shooter.
Yes, and I think Aaron Holiday, he's as far as percentage, I think, as far as percentage, he's the best. He's the best shooter on the team. As far as the percentage,
I think.
Other than that,
I'm gonna double check, but I'm pretty sure percentage wise, he actually is.
He might be percentage wise, but y'all gotta stop with that. That's not something y'all should be spreading. It's like he don't even play some games. Like he hasn't played majority of games this season. Like if that's the case, then Reed Shepherd's our best shooter, and he's like having his worst years in his whole career. But like, nah, I mean, I just disagree. That's all. It's not.
Yeah, for sure. So let's move on to OKC. Last night, what the hell happened, Ryan?
I didn't get to watch the game because I was traveling back, driving from college. But
he's not.
I saw a graphic this morning. I think we shot 11, 12, or 13 threes, and we shot 20-something%. And we shot like low 30% from the field or something like that.
None of our starters.
I have nothing to say. I mean, we really need to get our offense together because defense doesn't win every game, but defense absolutely wins championships, and we saw that against Golden State. But it can't win every game, which is exactly what happened last night.
Yeah. Looking back at it right now, just to confirm, we shot 36.5% from the field and 24% from three. Guess how many threes we took?
12.
No, how many threes we attempted?
Oh, how many?
Like 30-something?
Okay. All right, 30-something. Donte, what are your thoughts? How many threes do you think we took?
I would say like 20, 25.
Yeah, we took 46 threes.
Damn.
We made 11.
Okay, so that's what I saw.
Yeah. And we took 25 free throws and made 15 of them, so we missed 10 on that as well. So not only were we not a great free throw shooting team, but we only made 11 threes out of 40 sticks.
I saw something today that Fred VanVleet said it was rather a loss of an opportunity rather than a big loss in itself. Like they're more worried about the loss.
Yeah, but we didn't even lose based off of 3-point attempts though. Like that's not why we lost the game.
Well, no, you're right. But and again, I didn't watch the game, so I can't really speak on it.
I mean, sorry to cut you off. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're chilling. I just think that our shooting this season has been only God knows how bad it's been.
So specifically, like watching the game, I thought the game was pretty like tied through pretty much most of the third quarter. So first, second, and most of the third quarter, right? And then there was a component of the game that got away from us once the ref stepped in. That's what I thought was a big factor for me. I don't want to blame it solely on referees just because, like, I understand that as players you have to make opportunities, but like you have to make play. Regardless, you have to make plays. Good calls, bad calls, you make plays, right? So Fred had open shots, Jalen had open shots. Jalen wasn't attacking. People didn't know where to get their shots. Şengün had one of the most horrible games of this season in his career. So like those things do matter, right? But we won in rebounds. We run our 3-point percentage was horrible, but we made the same amount of threes that they made, right? And we lost in field goal percentage by 10%, which is fine, right? But we made the same amount of free field goals. Well, okay, we made 35, they hit 36. Now, what mattered though was specifically the 15 made free throws that we had versus their 28. They also took 32, right? And that goes to that factor of points that mattered in that third quarter where the ref stepped in and start calling fouls one way specifically. And I think the stats even back that up. Now, are our players bad at scoring? For sure. On offense in many different ways they can't create for themselves. But when we're talking about a game that's this close, like if we're going to call it both ways, all the same way, or no ways altogether. And they didn't do that for us this game.
Yeah, Shea had 12 points going into the third quarter, and he ended the game with 32. Yeah, he had 15 free throws. 8 of those came in the third quarter.
How shocking is it that he had 15 free throws? Seems very fitting to me.
I didn't start the game. Like, I didn't see tip-off. But when I turned on the game, first thing I saw was him at the free throw line, and I already knew we were losing.
Well, the game starting off, like, definitely was like a clunker fest from both teams.
Yeah. I wasn't surprised to see his ass at the line, unfortunately. Yeah. He always be there.
A lot of LP struggles, was at the rim, but they were easy shots, bro. He could have easily made. I mean, he got Hardenstein in some great positions, and he would just clanking. He would just short on every shot that he pretty much took last night, outside of the 3 that he made. But I mean, there was some times that we played solid defense, and OKC was just made. I mean, you talking about the 3, like on the right wing that Lou Dort hit. I thought it was contested real well, and Shea got some kind of crazy calls last night. I thought we played some good defense on him. I just thought the refs kind of bailed him out a little bit every time we put a hand on him, or every time he would just he'll just go run into somebody and they'll just blatantly call a foul after he's drawing the contact. So he kind of got some calls last night because he was struggling. But that's why I said that free throw line kind of help you get your confidence and get your shot going too. Because he got to the free throw awfully a lot on some crazy contact that he kind of forced last night.
Agreed. Another thing to continue on to this, we talked about 3-point percentage a little bit ago. Something that was intriguing is how many threes Dylan Brooks attempted. Anybody want to guess? Throw out a number.
7.
Okay. He took 13. He made 4 of those. I don't want to see that shit ever again. Dylan Brooks should never, bro. I'm sorry. 13 attempts from DB. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, you're not getting scoring. Okay.
You got it. No, you're speaking first.
You're not getting scoring anywhere else. It's not like your other guard score. You can't really so for instance, this is important to note. Let me go back to Donte's point, which leads into your point about Dylan.
Sure.
Şengün had a horrible showing offensively, but if you go watch the games, the defense converged on Şengün a lot, and they could easily because we don't make shots. We have not been making shots, right? Had the conversation before the game with someone else talking about how bad our guards are at scoring and why you need them to make shots, because when Şengün gets double teams and triple teams on them, you have to be able to kick it out.
You have to be
a knockdown shooter, right?
So, all time.
Yep. Now Dylan was that guy this game, but also it does go to Fred and Jalen as well. But Dylan was the only one in 13 attempts that was making shots.
No,
right?
making shots because
He made
every shot that he shot, it wasn't like
4 of 13.
See, this is what I'm saying. But like
Yes,
this is the
that's not
problem
bad.
though.
The
This
other
is what I'm saying. Like if he's wide open every time, you're gonna tell him
Yes.
don't take it.
Yes,
That's what I'm
exactly,
saying. You're gonna tell him not to take it.
exactly.
And Fred VanVleet in the third quarter was open 9. Wide open. He was open 9. He couldn't shoot.
Come
He
on.
couldn't shoot. Jalen Green couldn't shoot. Nobody else could shoot.
Right.
Dylan Brooks was the only one to make threes. We had 11 threes. He got 4 of the threes. So if you wide open, you're not going to tell a player not to shoot the basketball, especially when the defense in the paint is loading on LP.
And especially by design. By
And
design, the guards and Dylan are supposed
nobody
to
just
shoot.
couldn't shoot. They couldn't shoot.
Yeah.
Nobody couldn't shoot.
Yeah.
And Dylan Brooks was the only one really out 4 for 13. Yeah, it looks bad. But like I said, I'm not gonna be mad if it's open. That becomes a point you gotta say, we're just not making those shots. We're just not making shots. We have opportunities. We're just not making them. And plus, LP they're not gonna play him one-on-one. They're not gonna guard him one-on-one. Go ahead.
What is worse? 4 for 13 or 1 for 8?
They're both bad.
No, they're not. They're not bad. Even statistically, they're not both. They're not even relatively the same. One is 30%. The other one is 12.
Yep.
13%. That's a difference, a clear difference. And one of them is supposed to be a shot creator and a scorer. The other one is a veteran contributor on both sides of the ball, right? Right? Who only supposed to get spot up shots, right? The other guy who was 1 for 11. What is he? What does that sound like? So what does 1 for 11 sound compared for 4 to 13? All of it is bad. Don't get me wrong, but statistically, one of them is 10%, the other one is 12.5%, the other one is 30%. Dylan shooting 30% isn't bad. Fred VanVleet and Jalen Green shooting 10 and 15%. What is that? All right, then. Come on, bro. Like let's Dylan. If he the one being aggressive taking shots, that's not gonna make me mad. What made me mad is that he's the only one doing it, and them other guys aren't making shots. If he was doing it, and it cost us the game, then we'll talk about it then. But that's not even remotely what cost us the game. What cost us the game was Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet not making shots.
And I respect
This is what I'll say.
They be wide open. Fred VanVleet was wide open. You wide. It was one possession on I believe it was a fast break. Jabari Smith gave him straight the ball on the right side of the wing. You shorten a shot wide open. At that point, he's 0 for 9. He has not made a 3. And like I say, most of them was good shot. Like Dylan Brooks was the one that was hitting open shots. Was hitting open shots. I mean, it's no other. You can't just tell a player you can't shoot it wide open. Shoot it wide open. We can't go in the paint. You can't go in the paint with LP. You just can't go. You can't go in the paint.
Okay, and I'll just give my take on Dylan Brooks shooting. I guess 4 for 13. If he's the only player that's making even a few shots and he has a wide open look, take them. And not only that, I don't know what the numbers are saying, but he's also been one of our better shooters this season. I mean, especially watching the eye test. Yep. So I'm not even complaining about him shooting, especially in a game that we just shot terribly as a team in general. It wasn't going to better us.
Here we go with that. So overall, right, he took 13, right? He shot 30% from 3. He shot 29% from the field. Yeah.
So okay, now
hang on. Overall, we're comparing our guards, right, to Dylan Brooks in that aspect. Jalen shot 36% from the field. Okay.
That's
what we doing, right?
You're absolutely wrong. I'm not gonna let you get that off because you're good. So Jalen was 5 for 14. Dylan was 5 for 17 from the field outside of 3 points. The reason why you're merging 3-point attempts with the overall attempts, what makes it what you're saying as far as totality. So no, 5 for 14, 5 for 17. That's the difference. Talk about that. They both only made 5 shots. Only made 5 shots.
Difference. With Dylan Brooks being our leading, with our leading scorer being Dylan Brooks, our leading shot attempter. I apologize, with 17 shots, right? And that's where I'm coming through with the whole thing here, right? Like, do I want people who are open taking the shots? Absolutely. My issue isn't necessarily Dylan Brooks directly taking the shots, but forcing the issue on a few shots, right? Going in with some of his post ups.
The problem, bro. Like he's not even remote.
He's not remotely the problem overall this season. Hold on, bro.
He's one of our best players.
See, that's what I missed from PG. He be saying what's straight, and even though we disagree here, it's good to have the conversation. But I'm not saying that he again is the direct problem, but some of his shot selection is not.
They're not.
Now, Fred is
not
not
bad shots that he took.
An open
said
shot is not a bad
all
shot.
17 all 17 shots were open. That's what
Yes, most of them
They
was
were-
open. Most of the shots
much.
were open. Most of the shots that he shot
Be mad that he
was
missed
wide
them.
open.
Yeah, be
The
mad
only,
that he
the
missed
only,
them.
the only couple of shots that you can argue is the post up fadeaway.
That's what I
shot.
just said. The
Yeah.
post up.
Two
Yeah,
shots that
two of
wasn't-
That's what I said. I said the
two
post
shot that wasn't open that he forced, but the rest of the shots last night was wide open. He just missed some, but like he was the only one making them. Now Fred VanVleet, he couldn't make anything. Regardless, he couldn't make any shot that was open or anything at all. Jalen Green couldn't make a shot that was open. That was open at all. Jalen Green only made 5 shots, the same amount of shots that Dylan Brooks was made. But again, your guard's supposed like Fred VanVleet supposed to be this great shooter, and he's going 0 for 9. He's supposed to be the great shooter. He's supposed to be going 0 for 9. He's 0 for 9, like wide open.
What is going on with Fred VanVleet? Anybody does anybody have a I don't know if we have an answer for that. But I feel like last season, comparatively, he was a lot better. I mean, he averaged almost.
Last year was one of his best shooting seasons of his career. And now he's kind of
he's completely regressed. I don't know if anyone's got any thoughts on that as to why we're seeing
he just had like a 35-point game a couple games ago. Like it's not abnormal.
He's playing alongside Jalen Green.
That part, but it's not abnormal that like Fred VanVleet has always been an inconsistent shooter. Like Fred VanVleet has always been a guy who's going to make big buckets in big moments, but he's never been a guy who's going to give you 25 a game every game. That's never was.
Yeah, that's not what I'm asking. I guess
I know. I'm just giving you an understanding of who he is as a person. So it's like Fred VanVleet is not supposed to be your leading scorer every single night, any given night. Fred VanVleet is supposed to have a game every 4 or 5 where he gives you 25, maybe. And go ahead.
Also, he was never a starter on the Raptors until Kawhi left. He was never meant to be a starter. Or maybe no, he was never a starter on the Raptors until Lowry left.
No, he started with Lowry.
No, he didn't.
Yeah, he started at some point, but I don't think he was like a.
He wasn't
a bona fide starter.
When Lowry left, that's when he became a full starter.
Did he have
that's what I'm saying. When Lowry left, he became a full starter.
He was a spot starter while Lowry was there. But
didn't he have like a crazy month or something where he was going for like 20 or plus or 30 plus? So it's like those are the potentials in him. But like again, he is never supposed to be like our replacement for Harden, right? You know what I mean?
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that go ahead.
The expectations we set for him were way too high.
No, he did what we needed him to do last year. He did exactly that.
Right. But he did more than what he was supposed to be, I think. He did a great job for us last year.
Yep.
But
so this is why it matters. Like Fred on and off nights really, again, are a part of what like Fred, if he has a 30 night, we win. Sure. Right. Cool. That makes it easier. But Jalen, if he at least gives you 25, 22, maybe, like, or just a regular 20 every single night as a shooting guard, like that just gives leeway for like Fred to only have to give you 10, 12, right? For Şengün to have to only give you 18 to 20. For Jabari, you only have to give you 10, a minute to give you 10, Jabari to give you 5, 10, and you can still win that game. So the point is like Fred, I don't even want to think of Fred as like a high scorer type of person, right? Like even with Dylan, I think Dylan had a game where he dropped like
28 against the Blazers.
Yeah, with from 3 and like he was just going hot from 3. Like you can't rely on that. Those aren't supposed to be the scores. We have a guy that we just extended to be that guy. You know what I mean? And that's just we're not getting any of that from him.
That was more of what I was trying to say.
He's still our leading scorer on the team, but I hear you. I understand your point. But as far as people showing up tonight, Amen Thompson, 9 of 15 tonight. I mean, he's the only one that looked like he was there. Solid game from overall. He was the team's leading scorer off the bench, had 19. What are your thoughts on Amen's game tonight?
Great job. Did a great job. After they stole a 3 from him. He's 0 for 1, but he should have been 1 for 2.
He should have been. Yeah, they counted as a 2.
Yeah, he counted as a 2. But man, so and this is a point to Amen I will say is most matters to me is his role and where he is playing right now. I know everybody wants to see him as a starter. I mean, hell, I want to see him as a starter.
He'll be a starter next season.
I don't, but it could be 4 years from now. It doesn't matter. His role right now is good for his development as a player. So I like as we continue to see more and more of him, and he understands basketball and where he wants to be on the court, where he wants to contribute on the court. I think that it'll get there. Asking him to be the starter today would just kind of ruin it. Whenever something doesn't go right, I think he can probably persevere a lot better than guys like Jalen who struggle with the big moments right now. But Amen giving what he can at the height that he is right now, offensively and defensively, it matters to me, and I think that it's going to pay dividends at some point in the future.
Exactly. And I think something that really stands out to me about Amen is actually from Ime. If somebody scores on Amen, it's Amen's fault.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's perfect for his development as a young star into this league. I mean, especially on a defensive team, and he's only going to get better as offense as time goes on. I mean, we're already seeing him shoot what's he shooting from three? He's shooting like at least 30% from the corner, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, his 3-point is looking a lot better this year, minus top of the key. So he's developing really quickly.
Yeah, he's shooting 29% from 3 this season.
Yeah. But I'm talking about that corner shot.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his.
I don't think there's like an actual stat for that, but it's pretty good.
It's good to see it. And he's not to mention, not only is he doing well and like playing well, he's averaging 12 and 7 off the bench. It's crazy.
It's ridiculous.
Second year player averaging 12 and 7 next to Tari Eason, who is also playing ridiculous out of his mind, as we've seen. There's a lot to like from our bench guys here. I'm looking up Tari's stats so I can add on to that. Tari's averaging 11 and 6 as well here.
Wow.
So I'm actually surprised to see that.
Talking about those guys reminds me like the way that we play defense, right? It really was missed in this game against OKC because like we play defense hard. We were there, we were making stops. But one thing that I think that OKC did stop us is like whenever we did get a steal, we didn't get those transition points that we often get easy, especially to start the season. Amen is really good at that, taking a steal and going, halfway down the court, dunking it. Tari as well. I feel like they cut off a lot of like points in transition that could have like really taken place, or even just like when turnovers happen, they had been like going away from our goal, right? So their defense got back, got set, and then we just got into our half court offense. So that's also something that because you were talking about that, I just remembered like people should pay attention to that too, is that like we're not getting the same first 15 games of like Tari and Amen where like they created offense off their defense off of steals alone, right? I think Dyson Daniels is like broken away with the steal leading the steals this year. So, and that's why.
It's very interesting conversation. Now, kind of something before we're getting towards the end here. So I got to do this one more time, guys. As you know here, this episode is presented and sponsored by BetUS, where the game begins. Be sure to go ahead and sign up whenever you can get up to 120% bonus on your first 3 deposits using our promo JOIN125. Once again, thank you for BetUS for sponsoring this episode. And remember, BetUS, where the game begins. Thank you for watching, guys, and we appreciate everything going on here. Now, last kind of bit here I want to talk about is, and I want to get Pastor's real take on this because we kind of talked about it a little bit last time, but we haven't had the OG's opinion here. The team's overall efficiencies. Where does that lie? What are you noticing that is really causing? Obviously, people sometimes they just making shots, but is it the plays we're running? Is it this communist-ass offense we're running? What are your thoughts?
Well, before I go, like the second time you've brought up communist offense, what is it? What are you referring to?
Everybody eats offense. Emails, everybody eats offense. Everyone gets a shot.
Okay. I'm big on that too. Then, like I like communist offense. Then I'm a commie. Then, and as a U.S. sailor, that's kind of weird to say, but yeah, like no, this is I think it's weird. I think for years, I mean, I could probably pull up tape on any of you guys, go to y'all social medias and pull up receipts of people saying that they hated heliocentric offenses, right? That you can't win that way anyway, with a one guy being the main scorer. Now, I think that people maybe need to find a happy medium and understanding that like we don't have a consistent guy. That is our only consistent guy is Alperen Şengün, right? And if he has a bad night, we look morbid, right? You know what I mean? So it's one of those things where I think that a lot of and also let's get away from like a lot of people like often say that like Ime doesn't have an offense. He does. Our guys just don't create and they suck in the offense. This team and Jalen Green, Fred VanVleet, parts of Dylan Brooks. And what we do with Jabari, who's come along of recently, though, they don't know how to create for themselves in this offense. Our goal is to use switching, in attacking the what's it called, the mismatch, right? So using switching, using high pick and rolls to create a mismatch. When you get that mismatch, your next goal is to either get past that man or get the shot that you're comfortable with. If you can't make that shot, then you're gonna look like a bad offense. You're gonna look like a bad offense, right? Every other piece of our offense comes from where, guys? Second chance points, transition offense. You see what I'm saying? Like, we don't even play above the rim. Like, Jabari doesn't get up for alleys. Amin barely does. Fred has just now opened up that particular window of things, right? Like, we don't get enough of offense from guys who are supposed to score, and that's not on Ime's offensive holding them back. These guys had problems before they met Ime. Dylan Brooks was a problem before he met Ime. People complain about it all the time in Memphis. Fred VanVleet has always been a career inefficient scorer, bro. You can pull up his stats. Jalen Green, God, do we need to start and finish where we never made progress in his scoring efficiency? Like, it's not like it's just bad from the guys who are paid to score. And then you look at Alperen Şengün, and like, he's having a down year. People don't know why. We're like, bro, we still suck at spacing. We still suck at how to finish at the rim, and how we're gonna get easy shots for players on our team. And yes, with this communist offense, the goal is to find people and get them open. And when I do get them open, do they make shots? Nope. One thing I will say that is also on the players as well is that these guys do not pass the ball with urgency, and I want to say not deliberate. Like you want to be deliberate when you pass the ball, but like with like purpose though, right? Yeah. So if I'm passing it to you, I'm passing it to your chest, right? Or if I'm bounce passing you, I'm passing it to your pocket, so where it's easy for you to catch. A lot of things are like, I'm gonna throw it in this little area, let you go grab it. Oh, the defender made a play on the ball, or I'm gonna throw it to the Alfred in the post. Oh man, I didn't realize this is the 30th time I've passed the Alfred in the post, but the defender hasn't caught on. And the moment I do a bounce pass and the second man come and help and steal the ball, oh, I'm shocked that they watched me do it 29 other times, but the 30th time they decided to jump in front of the pass and take it. Like, we don't play with like that form of urgency and understanding that like every time you pass the ball off, it's either to set someone up or to put it in a place where it matters. Pay attention, lock in, bro. We don't do that. We have low IQ players on this offense. They play good defense. That's actually due to Ime, by the way, if everybody wants to argue that. But yeah, man, offensively. Yeah, these guys hold themselves back. We don't have like stars on offense. We have athletes.
Yep.
We have someone that looked like a star for some time.
Ryan, I'm gonna let you get that off. I'm gonna let you get that off. What you talking about, man?
Jalen Green, man.
Nah, man.
No, bro.
28.8 points per game to start the season. Over 43% shooting to start the season.
Good efficiency too.
Yeah, and then he fell off a cliff.
Why did he fall off a cliff, bro?
Because he's the most inconsistent potential star player of all time.
Is Jamal Crawford a star to you?
To me, I think he's the greatest six man of all time.
Is Jason Richardson a star to you?
Nope.
I'm not saying Jalen Green is a star.
Is J.R. Smith a star to you?
No.
Okay. These are players that are better than Jalen Green.
No, I know. But
so think about that. No, I'm just saying, like, now I get your point.
You said Jason Richardson?
Yeah, Jason Richardson. Yeah.
Bro,
Jason Richardson was better than Jalen Green. He was also
Richardson is better than Jalen Green. Leonardo Barbosa is better than Jalen Green.
Preston, you were alive for Jason Richardson. I was a child.
Jason Richardson was that dude, bro. That dude used to drop 23 points and can shoot. Not only could jump like Jalen Green was athletic, but he could shoot.
Yeah. Like, come on, bro. I can really put up some names that make y'all love. Jason Richardson, bro. I'm gonna tell you, like, on par, two players that you made. I'm not as far as like their actual skill set, just as far as like what they've contributed and how we look at them as like, oh well, they're inefficient, but they could be something one day. And I've been arguing this about Cam, but Ben Gordon and the guy who played in Miami, right? What's his name? Dion Waiters. Those are where Jalen Green right now is at. Like, Dion Waiters can give you buckets, but he can't give you buckets consistently. Yeah, he can't give it to you consistently.
You got Preston over there.
I mean, he already knows how I feel about Jalen. Like, this ain't nothing new. He's heard this before from me in many other ways. But like, I just need to like stop the infatuation with this guy being a star. I mean, they said it on bro. If you go watch my last pod with Clutch, on Clutch Fans on Playback, they said it on the broadcast. This young budding superstar, almost threw my fucking computer. Excuse my French. I almost threw my computer because he's not a superstar. He's not even close to it. And I think that it's frustrating that he does give us little glimpses of it, but that's why he's a 6-man or bench player at best. He cannot be your star. He can't be your star. He is not.
He's a what player at best?
A bench player or a 6-man at best. But I just gave you a list of players that are better than him that came off the bench.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now with that, how do you feel about Albert Şengün? Do you think that Albert Şengün is a star?
I think he's a budding star.
What's the difference between him and Jalen in this respect?
Consistency.
He's more consistent.
Hang on.
Way more consistent.
So he had.
Hold on. No. If you're gonna ask me, am I gonna get it off? Or you gonna
please go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So he's way more consistent through all the years that he's been here. So it's not just this year. Through all the years that he's been here, he has had progression in his consistency. And this is the first year he dropped off. But in this year that he dropped off, he increased in defense. Right. So there's a correlation in that as well. Also, this year he's playing like an all-star. I think this would be the first year that any of our players on our team makes an all-star. We'll figure out after the all-star break. But this would be the year that whoever makes the all-star will be considered the star in the first place. I think that people may argue that he's also playing like a top 5 center in the league. So at his position group, he's playing above average. Where is Jalen ranked at? I think that he's ranked 140 or 138 in field goal percentage in the league, bro. In the league, right? So, yes, Alperen may have a bad year this year, but, nah, bro, I can't take nothing away from him as a consistent player and getting better and been, like there is a such thing that you remember called the what? Shin hub. Remember that? That's an engine on the offense. When you gave that thing to Jalen, you got 1 month in March, and then you got the start of this season and the start of last season. There's no Jalen though.
Okay. With that being said, appreciate your opinion. That's great. Şengün has been officially better, excluding the season, of course, been better than Jalen for 1 season. I think that's fair. Last season was Şengün. He was phenomenal. But with that being said, like him being super consistent, I mean, there was probably a reason why the front office didn't believe in him. They had that man coming off the bench for who?
Okay. What's his name?
Very interesting.
Who's my group?
Bruno Fernando.
It was
Bruno Fernando.
It was Bruno. It
Very
was Bruno.
interesting.
Garuba never started. I don't think
Garuba started.
I don't think he started over Şengün though.
He didn't start over Şengün. But Bruno did. They signed him. They also signed Daniel Tice too. So these are just things that's interesting.
That doesn't those aren't even correlated. Like just
absolutely.
No, they're not.
They didn't believe him enough to start.
Sure.
Like
so
Jalen always
just
started.
because you didn't believe in him doesn't mean that he's not a good player. Like the team was not even playing Shin Hub, and they also didn't play to Şengün's thing. Like we always played to Jalen's strength, and he always been bad. So hold on, coach, bro. Because like this is not an got you moment. This is you saying, oh, we've always played to the strengths of Jalen. He's always been bad. We've always did not play to the strength of Şengün, and he's always been good. He's also had the same coaching staff that Jalen had throughout all the years Jalen had this coaching staff and still produce. So is it the coaching or is it the player?
It was the coach. It was the coach. Steven Silas.
It was the player, bro.
No, I think it was the player.
Because KPJ still gave you whatever top 5 in the league and catch and shoot threes and still gave you buckets, right? Like Christian Wood still gave you buckets. John Wall still gave you buckets. Like, nah, bro. Like that wasn't like players are who they are, fam. And as you look at you may blame development to some degree on Jalen, but he was an ultra raw talent that would have benefited from starting off with a different coach. I may argue that, but he did not get better.
No, I agree with you, guys.
He's not phenomenal.
But I believe Coach Silas played a part in LP.
Yeah, that's because of the coach.
He played a part in LP. And LP was still like dropping buckets and being consistent more than Jalen Green was. But Jalen Green just really hasn't took that tail off, bro. He still hasn't. He's still the same type of goddamn player that he has been.
But Jalen Green has gotten better throughout his career. The inconsistencies are just still there.
He's only gotten incrementally better. Y'all keep trying to over-exaggerate that better. He's only gotten incrementally better. Like the efficiency stuff is still there. That's
what I just said. He's gotten better. Look at his defense this year. Go look at his defense. Is his defense? That's what you're saying about. But you're saying that Şengün's offense went here, his defense went here.
No, he's always been bad. Jalen's Green offense has stayed here. and
But his
got better
defense hasn't went
defensively.
here.
No, bro, like that doesn't like that. If I'm always bad offensively, and then 1 year with this coach, I get better defensively, that has no correlation. If I've always been consistently getting better offensively, and then I've been here defensively for those years, and then I make a jump defensively, but take a plateau on my offense, that would have some relative correlation,
I
bro.
don't think his offense has plateaued. I think his offense has stayed very stable and consistently throughout his career.
I'm talking about the second relative was Şengün. The first one was Jalen Green, bro.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see what you're saying. But you can't say that Jalen Green has not gotten
I just
better.
said he's gotten incrementally better. It hasn't done. He's still always been inefficient. Like
Oh,
even
okay,
if you argue
yeah.
defense, like it's not like he's made leaps and bounds offensively. He has not. He's shooting the same from three all 4 seasons, bro. I'm
Yeah.
stats.
And this
Like,
is the
three-point
worst 3-point
attempts.
shooting he's ever had.
He's actually like he's only shooting one more attempt in 3 than he did his first year in the league, right? Like no, bro, his field goal percentage is worse this year than
But
any
his
other
shot,
year.
but his shot selection is better this year. Even though it's still not great, it's better.
He goes down the court and he shoots 3. He'll make all right, bro. I'll pull up film on this, fam. Well,
I will also pull up
listen,
film of
listen
rookie
to me, fam.
Jalen
Ryan,
Green shot attempts.
Ryan,
There's
listen
a
to me,
whole
bro.
TikTok reel.
Ryan, he'll go down the court. He'll make 2 threes, right? His next shot will be a heat check 3, and then he'll go down the court and miss the next 4. That's not good shot selection. Good shot selection would be I'll go down court, hit 2 threes, and I'm going to use the fact that they know I'm hot to get to the rim because they're going to overplay my 3.
Okay.
Or if I'm going to use a pick and roll, I'm going to use a pick and roll to get to the midi. But I'm not good at midi. I'm shooting 26% from midi. I'm also shooting 25% at the rim. That's non-dunk or layup. So that means I have no floater. I have no midi. I have no other game other than shot attempt threes and dunking the ball.
Or acrobatic layups.
Clear out the paint, bro.
But I like what you're saying because with Jalen Green, that his game.
How you gonna cloud? You can't.
Hold on. I think Jalen Green is obviously one of the fastest players in the league, and I like what you're saying about make a 3, then drive, get a pick and roll. It would work. I like what you're saying there.
He also is one of the only guys who will get past his man and then reset. He doesn't know where he want to go with the ball. He also one of the guys that
He
when he
sees
gets past
somebody
his
in the
man,
paint.
when he gets listen, bro. We got plenty of film on this, Ryan. But we can always Ryan. I think I offered just last time. You can call me, Ryan. Drip God got my number. You can call me. We can set up a moment. We can get on the TV and watch film together, bro. There's also a point in time where he'll get past his man, get contact, and can't finish through contact. That's a year 1 problem, bro. That's not a year 5 problem. How you not got better?
It has improved. It has improved.
All right, fam. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. I'm done.
Oh, man, this is beautiful. Pastor, it's good to have him back on, man. I love the knowledge that he always be dropping, and it's good. It's
Pastor,
definitely
you know
good.
who I think would really like your take about Jalen Green?
Talk to me.
AD.
Yeah,
Well, that's my guy.
sure.
AD, my guy.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, that's my guy. Yeah. We
I
also
can
disagree a
tell.
lot, though, but that's my guy. But no, me and AD go at it all the time. So that ain't
Not about Jalen Green, no.
yeah, but like that's because we have relatively agreements on Jalen Green. But like that's neither here nor there. I think for myself in most regards. So like anything I'm telling you, like, I'm watching with my eyes, and I have a tweet out of me happy for Jalen Green, of me raving about Jalen Green. And I also have a tweet about me the same week being upset with Jalen Green because guess what? That's the type of player he is.
Yeah,
that's not a starter, man.
Right.
Let me not say because when I say starter, it gets y'all rowdy. That's not a consistent starter, meaning that is replaceable.
Okay, fair.
Especially for a year 4 player.
Now, look, I was just talking to Preston about this, right? I hate talking about trades, but it must be brought up.
Nigga, stop.
What if we made a trade package and included Jalen Green and we got Tyler Herro?
So you can't talk about trade packages or anything for this season. Let's just stop. Anything that you're referring to has to be in context or light of consolidating any other player outside of Şengün and Jalen, or they have to be in light of or in lieu of the offseason, right? So I can't even have hypothetical talks if we're talking unrealistic conversations when it comes to trade package. So I can't do hypotheticals with you if you're not going to talk about things that could really happen.
Fair. We just tend to talk about hypotheticals way too much.
No, we can do it. It just has to make realistic sense. Like I'm not gonna talk about trading Jalen if you know what I mean? Like it has to be an offseason. You know what I mean? So or for the offseason. So if there's a player you're looking at in the offseason that could be available and you have a point, then I'll talk about that for sure.
Jimmy Butler.
In the offseason?
I would not want Jimmy Butler.
In the offseason, you're asking?
Is
he available in the offseason?
I just don't want him. That was just.
I would love to have a Jimmy Butler on this team. Yeah,
you want Jimmy Butler for 2 years?
I would love to have Jimmy Butler on this team, however long we had him. Yeah,
at
Jimmy
35
Butler,
years old,
I would love that. I don't know how many times. I would love to have Jimmy Butler on this team. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know what you got.
Okay, you have to be. You're gonna have to argue your point here.
Well, why? I mean, Jimmy Butler is an all-star. He's also like top 15, top 20 player in the league. I would say,
and he plays like 10 games a year. Bro.
No. Sure, I love Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler is one of my favorite players.
But again, I don't want you guys to argue because you threw out a trade part, basically a player that we could trade for with no merit or understanding of what it would take to get him.
Yeah, it was hypothetical.
So it's an unrealized hypothetical. So it's like you're asking me what would I give up for Jimmy Butler? I mean, it's not really much.
Give up?
There's not much I would give up. I wouldn't give up shit for him, to be real with you. He's too old. But I'm saying if you just ask again, because Drip God Preston fell back in his chair as if Jimmy Butler was a bad player, which is egregious to me. But you're not even adding context of the fact that you can't give up anything realistic for Jimmy that another team could beat and that you felt like was viable. So what you giving up? Cam Whitmore, giving up Jalen Green and some picks for Jimmy Butler? That's stupid. That's malpractice. You can't even do that.
But the question is, does Cam Whitmore see playing minutes with us?
If y'all let him, shit, y'all over here raving about Jalen Green. Shit, if you gave Cam Whitmore those same opportunities, you might get better output. He attacks better than Jalen. This right now today. Attacks the rim better.
He tries for sure. I do agree.
That one person look like you're about to have a fit over there, boy.
Bro, I'm trying to remain calm. This water's doing a great job. Yeah. Now, my take about Jimmy, it's not that I think he's a bad player, no, but just adding him to the team and whatever we have to give up for it, I don't think it'd be.
I don't want to give up.
That's all I'm saying. It would be distasteful and honestly, like you said, malpractice to add that. But yeah, guys, I think we've had a lot of shit talk today, and it's great. And that's what PG does, man. He's great at it, but he speaks the truth, though. He speaks the truth on his own truth, I guess, whether it's right or wrong. I agree with him in certain degrees. Guys, I think that's gonna have to be it. Give us your outros, Ryan. Where we can find you, bro?
You already know where to find me at RyanDiamond15 on Instagram, RyanDiamond15 on Twitter, Rockets on Robin podcast, HtownRundown podcast, Rockets on Sports Illustrated, and soon to be Off Topic podcast.
100%, Ryan. It's good to have you, brother. Donte, where can I find you, bro?
Y'all can find me at Coach Donte 5 on IG. Y'all can find me at Coach Donte 31 on X, man. It's fun to have PG back, man.
I said it in the beginning. He's gonna bring a certain kind of energy, and he did today. Yeah. Pastor, bro, where can we find you?
You can find me on X. I always say Twitter, but you can find me on X at Early God. Where you get even more controversial takes, I guess since I'm so controversial. You can find even more of those, all things Rockets, all things Texas. I do not like the Astros as much as everyone else in Houston, but I do love them. And we can talk about anything. So if you want to get out there, get in the street and box it out with me, I will beat your ass publicly. I do not mind it. Shout out Preston, who got his ass whooped today. Shout out Ryan today.
Hey.
Anybody else who wants to get some of these hands?
Look. I'm a respectful man, and I battle with words, and it's okay. Guys, this is another beautiful episode on the H-Town Rundown, man. At the H-Town Rundown, be sure to follow that at X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, YouTube, and check us all out there. You can follow me, Drip2Piece_GAWD on X, Instagram, as well as Twitch. My goodness. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And that's been the show, guys.